is Renee McCandless. I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia 25 years ago.
I'm Roberts, live in Banbridge. I've had fibro this 20 years.
My name is Rosemary. I was diagnosed in 2012, so just over 5.5 years.
Margaret Peacock, Director of Fibromyalgia Northern Ireland. I was diagnosed in 1997, which will make it 20 years from I had taken chronic fibromyalgia.
My name is Gary King Millward, and I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia finally in 2005.
At the first I wasn't really told what it was. I had this awful soreness and tiredness, and it was just after my dad died. And I thought it was all stress and grieving. And I was sent to someone to talk about my dad's death. But it didn't take the pain away. And it just has gradually got worse.
Over the years, it wasn't a well-known illness, and it took about 5 years to actually get diagnosed. They kept sending you to the hospital, or they kept doing blood tests at the doctors and sending stuff away, and it just seemed to be, there was no answer. No, it's not this. No, it's not that. No, it's not the other. And it was very frustrating because you knew you were hurting, you knew you were exhausted. You went from very active to sleeping continuously, and you couldn't understand why, because they couldn't give you an answer.
It took me 2 years to actually find out, after major surgery for a gallstone. They take out the gallbladder, and from that I was bedridden for 8 months. So trying to find any sense into what I was suffering, it was extremely hard, and only when going private to 6 different consultants did I find out what it actually was.
I had about 10 years of various health problems and problems at work, obviously with a bad attendance record because of health. And it was a doctor just returned from maternity leave, and she just gave me the diagnosis and said this is what she thought I had. And lots of things all clicked into place.
The diagnosis was slow to come, but when the right consultant got hold of it, he speeded things up a bit for me.
Well, I don't have any social life as such. I can't be invited anywhere. I've lost a lot of friends. They just get tired inviting me. My social life would be my work.
But equally so, you lose people from your life who can't cope with the new you. You want to go out somewhere, but you can't on that particular day, so you have to cancel. And so you get the reputation of, oh, she never comes. And so the invitations stop arriving.
And I had a good social life. I loved dancing. I loved to be just out in the whole buzz of things. But for this has got worse. I can't do those things.
As goes my social life, I more or less effectively don't have one anymore. I was a very outgoing fella, and I went to the gym 3 times a week, and I was doing that while working, and I can't do any of that now. Now my social life is literally interacting with people at work.
The big things with the diagnosis is I obviously lost my job. As my symptoms progressed, I had great pain and quite bad fatigue. I had to leave work, and that was a big shock to me, who I'd worked all my adult life. I'd never been reliant on anybody.
In 2000 I went into the post office, and I'm still working at the post office, but now with the fibromyalgia I can't do the walks outside. So I do an inside duty where I do sorting and hand out the specials. I'm lucky enough that in the job there was something inside that they could give me. Otherwise, I probably would be medically retired already.
I done 2 jobs. I looked after my mother. I looked after my daughter who has a stroke. But this has got worse. I can't do those things.
You are in pain, you can't do things for yourself, you're suddenly reliant on others, so you lose that sense of independence.
Shopping, I can't go and do a simple shop on my own, which at 50 something, you're not supposed to be sort of around, you know what I mean?
For me, it's been quite difficult because my progression to having very limited activity has been very quick. It's very limiting. For me anyway, it's very limiting. And you're very dependent on other people, and that can be quite difficult at times.
My cognitive thinking just isn't there anymore. It's very hard to concentrate because of the lack of sleep. And
It's actually got to a stage now where the tiredness of it is something that you can't describe to anyone unless someone knows what it's like.
Well, it has affected me that I'm just not able to do the things that I would like to do. Run after the grandkids, things like that. I just am not fit to do it.
The pain that you have, you're constantly pushing yourself every day. You're pushing yourself to get up out of bed in the morning. You're pushing yourself to get your face washed. And whenever someone sees you, whenever you've got all that done, oh, look at you, aren't you looking well? They don't realise what you went through to do that.